Welcome. We're live. We took a break for a couple of weeks. Come in. Where are you from? What country are you from? Are you from a different city than I am? Let me know in the comments. I'm talking like I'm some sort of crazy person. Come in. Welcome back, everybody. Wednesday. It's Wednesday today, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys see me okay? Drop a comment below where you're from. If you can hear me okay, see me okay. Just want to confirm. Come on in. Let's go. What's up, John? How you doing? Welcome back. Hey, Diggs, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for being such a long-time supporter of the channel, man. Really appreciate you. All right. Good. Randy says I'm good. Perfect. Jackie from Singapore. Welcome. Yo, performance. Hello. All right, Diggs. Beautiful. What's up, Tim? Welcome back. Welcome, everybody. Sounds good. Looks good. Perfect. What's up, Alvin? How you guys doing? What's up, Alex? How's it going? All right, let's get started, yeah? Should we just get right into it as people join? If you do, if you guys don't mind, as you guys join, would be awesome if you hit the like button just to sort of help this thing be a little bit more broadly seen on the YouTubes. Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. I got an error on YouTube. Let me know if you guys see that error on my end, but I think it's just a little glitch from what I'm seeing. So, awesome. Greetings from Canada. Hey, Alvin, Espen. Hello. All right, let's start getting into questions. Yeah. So one of the comments that Randy dropped here, right as we started the stream, and of course this, I liked it so hard. Thanks, Cindy. One of the things that we learned is that Elon's working on a master plan part 3, right? That's not a secret for anybody anymore. And he did drop some comments on the Gigafactory opening, which of course we got to talk about that at Berlin. The recent stock price run up has been a pretty awesome thing to see as well. A lot of different topics have come up in the last couple of weeks since we last had a live stream. But let's start with a master plan and then see where the conversation takes us. So if you have any comments as we go through the thing, drop them below. What I try to do is try to get to every single comment as we go through the live stream to try and really sort of help the conversation along, or if you have any questions about anything, kind of give my 2 cents. And of course, you're more than welcome to drop your 2 cents as well. I would love to hear from you about all the different topics that we talk about. So Randy says the master plan must include energy. I suspect that Elon will say that battery manufacturing will be a big part of the future of Tesla. Surely he'll make plenty of cars with leftover for utilities. Yeah, I think I 100% agree with that. I just released a video on Monday, I believe, of this week, if I remember correctly, where I think the master plan is going to be focused primarily, a lot of the focus is going to be around how do we get supply going for batteries and how do we get supply going for manufacturing materials that's going to help Tesla grow where they need to go, right? You can't make any batteries or utility things with anything but batteries. You have to have the batteries. And so my gut tells me the master plan will be focused on mining or some sort of way of figuring out how to most quickly and efficiently generate the materials and the supplies needed to make the cars and the batteries and the utility storage and everything that Tesla's looking to do, right? You can't do any of that without batteries. So mining, I think, is going to be a big portion of it. So I agree with you, Randy. But who will make enough solar and wind to go with these utility batteries? Anyone have any idea how much solar it will take, if there's any chance, would Tesla make? I think, if I remember correctly, Elon made a comment around how... I think solar panels, you could have like a solar farm in Texas, for example, that was maybe, like 10 miles by 10 miles or 100 miles by 100 miles. I forget what it was. And then it would either power the entire United States or the entire world. I can't remember what it was. But like from a square footage perspective, square mile perspective, it doesn't seem like you need that much land to capture solar. It does really sound like you don't need... It's a fraction of a percent of the total landmass you would need from a solar panel perspective to power the world. So I think it makes a lot of sense to do that, especially in countries that have a lot of land. I think it's almost a no-brainer. So, but again, the question goes back to how do we get the batteries? How do we get the supplies for the batteries that are going to help us put that together? I think that's the big question. Another green day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We'll review the stock price too as we go through the stream here. It must include mining. I agree, man. I agree, Robert. I really do think so. I really do think so. We're having a UK and I'm guessing Ireland meetup in June, right? Oh, okay. So I dropped on Twitter saying that I'll be in Ireland in June. My wife and I have scheduled a trip to go to Ireland in June. And so if it lines up with that, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to meet with y'all. So let me know if drop the dates if you know them of when that meetup's going to be. That'd be awesome if we sort of like run into each other over there. Super, super fun. Your lighting looks spot on. Thank you, Brian. I've been working so hard with this lighting in this room. I'm sure you guys have seen it as you followed my journey. It's like I'm constantly messing with the different setups, and I think I'm happiest with this right now because I think with the yellow like orangey background it was good. It like looked very warm, but my skin tone is very similar to that color, so I wanted to create more separation between myself and the background. So that's why I switched it back to blue. It used to be blue, then I went to orange, like warm, and then I went back to blue. I feel like it looks a little bit better for my eyes, but you tell me what you think. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that too. Thoughts on Tesla pursuing nuclear energy? Yeah, I don't know. I think Elon has talked about how nuclear is a important piece for us to transition away from fossil fuels, and nuclear makes a lot of sense. I don't know if that's within the area of expertise of Tesla. So I don't know. I think if anything, maybe Elon will work to facilitate nuclear becoming more common with other companies, maybe through funding. But I don't know if Tesla's going to get into it because I think Tesla's going to be more focused on sort of scaling their products for, strictly solar and wind and things like that. So it'd be nice. It'd be interesting to see. It's a good thought. I mean, could you use batteries with nuclear somehow? I don't know if anybody knows in the comments. Drop it in the comments if you know, like, would batteries somehow help nuclear energy? Maybe store excess energy from the battery plant or the nuclear plant? I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. How about mining asteroids using Starship, going to the moon and bring back raw materials from there? Yeah, I mean, I think long term, like this is like maybe like 100 years down the road. That might make, maybe not that long. I don't know. I mean, if we think about what that could entail, you have a Starship, you load it up with bots, you send it to the moon, then the bots figure out how to get the whatever materials they need, right? You might need some heavy equipment. I don't really know what kind of materials are on the surface of the moon, but I mean, long term, I could, if you're going to be a if humanity is going to be in multiple planets and different parts of the universe, it would probably behoove us to take advantage of the materials and supplies and different chemicals that are on these planets that are very plentiful, or moons or asteroids or whatever. So yeah, perhaps long term. 100 miles by 100 miles, a corner of Utah, as Elon said, to power the entire USA. Yeah, thank you, Necroduck. I don't know if I said that right. Necroduck. Yeah, you don't need that much land. That's 100 by 100. That's nothing. Maybe Tesla will crack perovskite. I don't know what that is, Robert. Maybe help me understand that. Yeah, 100 square miles for the US. Yep. Democratize labor and democratize energy. One day everyone will own a robot. Yeah, I mean, I think long term, that's, we've talked about it on the live stream before, how this could be like a thing where we have to be careful what the automation with robotics and stuff like that could do to us. What we don't want is like humans to completely run out of work. So, if you have a lot of bots and a lot of automation that could eventually do all the work that humans need, how will humans find fulfillment? And somebody, other people will say, hey, like humans will figure it out. There will always be a market for humans to work in, but I don't know if that's true or not. Greetings from SoCal. Greetings from Austin, Richard. Welcome. Most important part of part 3 plan is Tesla buying the rights to the Mars candy bar. Yeah. Maybe they'll just make their own Mars. Okay, so this is what's interesting, right? Say they make a manufacturing plant on Mars that makes Mars bars, but they only sell them in Mars, but they sell them as Mars, right? As a brand. Can the Mars brand on Earth have any claim for copyright infringement on Mars? What do you guys think? That's interesting, right? Because then, what's stopping from like humans as they colonize Mars to like, there's a Ford brand or a Tesla brand on Mars. I guess not Tesla because Elon's going to be there and he's probably going to have Tesla cars running around. But like, how will copyright laws work in Mars? I think that's super interesting. Nice to be your Patreon. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, man. Thank you very much for joining Patreon. Thank you all who have joined the channel either on YouTube or on Patreon. You guys are awesome. I can't tell you how thankful I am. Literally every single thing in this room, most of the things really have been funded because of because of how you guys chipped in. And so, I try to not ask for anything on these things, but I do have them available in case you guys feel like, you want to support the channel. That's up to you. Do whatever you want. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. Nuclear fission, not fusion. Yeah, fission is like the lower energy need one, right? I think that's the case. Elon would do thorium salt nuclear if it did it at all. That's for nuclear, right? Yeah. I'm wondering if any of these things, like if I think about like master plan part 3, like I'm really stuck on the like excessive scale. And let me know what you guys think when Elon says excessive scale. Like what does that sound like to you guys? Is that a manufacturing thing? Or is that a supply thing? Like enough batteries and materials? Is it a car specific thing? What is that? Because in Berlin, he was putting it within the context of like, hey, we could get to a world where we're, selling 20 million cars per year in 10 years. But how about everything else? Transportation is still a relatively small percentage of the total energy usage of planet Earth. So like what is it specifically talking about transportation? Curious to hear. Space mining. Yeah. How do you think the design for the SpaceX Starship will evolve over these next few years? Yeah, I'm not a rocket expert whatsoever. I'm going to leave that for the rocket folks, but yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. I think, they do like to modify the design quite a bit, so they'll just optimize for the biggest efficiency. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have version 2, 3, 4, 5 over the years, right? So it will definitely change over time, I think. How about environmental mining of the deep oceans? Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about that, to be completely honest, but I'm assuming there is a ton of minerals and things that are on the ocean beds, right? One would think, what percentage of the Earth's surface is actually exposed that's not underwater? It's like, what, 30%? So why wouldn't there be materials like raw materials and sort of these supplies that we would use under the oceans? I think once the economics of it makes sense, they'll start looking underwater, but then you do have some environmental impacts there as well. So it's going to be curious to see. Extreme size is at a minimum 800x from here in headcount at Tesla. Yeah, right? I mean, that's the thing. It's when Elon says extreme size, that's like, it's scary. Because Elon's extreme size could be very different from everyone else's extreme size and how they think about it. 100x, I don't know if it's going to be 100x. I mean, you think about how many employees that would be 10 million employees about. Right now, they hire 100,000 and 100x would be 10 million. So I don't know if it'll be purely driven by employees. I think a lot of it will be automated. A lot of it will be bought labor in the long term, 10, 20 years, especially 20 years down the road, especially if you're thinking about manufacturing specifically and moving materials around. So, but it's the extreme part is pretty wild, right? The extreme part is very wild, and it's pretty. Yeah, it makes you really think really hard. Brian says he just survived a tornado. Well, I'm happy to hear, man. Where are you? Where are you located? I'm glad to hear that. Looks like you have internet, so that's good. But yeah, let us know how you're doing, man. What part of the world are you in? We did have a lot of like tornado warnings in Austin a few days ago, but fortunately nothing happened. Nothing serious happened. They were like very weak, and we didn't get one around our area, but nearby there were a couple that touched down. So, Julio, greetings from Germany again. Julio, I see you in the comments, man. Thank you very much for following the channel. I really appreciate you, man. You're awesome. Alvin, Elon said world needs about 300 terawatt hours to be fully sustainable. Wants Tesla to make a substantial portion of that. Does substantial mean over 50%? At Battery Day, Tesla planned to only make 3 terawatt hours by 2030. Okay, Alvin, that's a great question, and I think that is a perfect context that we need to think about this, right? So if we need 300 terawatt hours to be fully sustainable, and Tesla's only planning on making a current, present day before Master Plan 3 comes out, 3 terawatts, that's 1%. I think Tesla being a substantial portion of that, to me, when I hear substantial, it's like at least 20%, right? There's that Pareto law that says 80-20, right? 80% of the value can come from 20% of your efforts. Doesn't really apply here per se, but when I think substantial, I mean like majority market share. And something like that, 20% will probably get you majority market. I mean, will definitely get you majority market share. And if you're thinking about terawatt hours or terawatts within the context of energy usage, you think about all the different energy companies that exist today. I think Exxon and a bunch of other ones, right? I don't think they have more than a single-digit percentage total share of energy, I think. So 20% would definitely be substantial. 50%, I don't know if that's even humanly possible unless they like literally monopolize the crap out of that. And at which point it will make Tesla so ridiculously profitable, I can't even think about it. But I think 20%, but that's a great statement, right? But how do you even get, so 20%, say it's even 10%, right? You're going from 3 terawatts to 30 terawatts. That's a 10x. So they need to figure out how to 10x their original plan of doing 3 terawatt hours by 2030, which everyone already thought was crazy. They need to figure out how to get that to 30, 10x, if they want 10%. So how do you get to, yeah, I mean, and that's why my head keeps going back to like, there's not enough materials. There's not enough supplies and batteries, period. But like even the raw materials needed to make the batteries, forget about the cells themselves. Yeah, man, it's like you can't do it unless you're mining this for the stuff or figure out how to partner with those folks. So yeah, I think 30 terawatts is probably likely to be like the starting point. So they'll probably up it from 3 terawatts to 30 terawatts and perhaps even higher longer term. So that's where my head's going. Great question and great context there, Alvin, because I think that's a very good way of like helping us understand how Elon's thinking about this. Could Master Plan Part 3 include the acquisition of existing factory buildings already permitted to make cars for quicker expansion? I don't know if that's the case. I mean, I don't know if I feel like the Gigafactory part of the master plan is already sort of baked into Plan 2, because that's where Elon's talking about getting into every single segment of the vehicle production and doing full self-driving and stuff, which I think in my head, and maybe I'm thinking about this incorrectly, that is already baked into Master Plan Part 2. And Elon has previously talked about, like as long as like 3 years ago, if I remember correctly, where Elon has said 20 million cars by 2030, 20 million cars in 10 years. And I'm assuming the Gigafactory equation is already part of that. So yeah, I don't know. Existing factory buildings, and you have to think about that too, like existing factory buildings, they're not really optimized per se to how Tesla will manufacture their cars, because existing factories, if you look at an overhead view of them, they're very like segmented. Like look at that. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Let me pull this up on Google Maps. And let me pull up Fremont. Fremont factory. Let's see. Tesla Fremont factory. Tesla Fremont factory. I'll pull this up in my screen in a second. I'm just loading it up. Why is the screen so far away from me? I'm just like so dumb. Sometimes I'll make decisions and I'm like telling myself like, why are you even doing this? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So let me live stream share. I think you can still hear me. Perfect. Let me move this away. This is what I'm talking about. So the question was, could Master Plan 3 include the acquisition of existing factory buildings already permitted to make cars for quicker expansion? That's a great question, but I don't think it's going to be a part of it because of this. So if you think about a factory building. And this is sort of me talking about, I'm not an engineer, but I do have supply chain experience and I sort of understand flow of materials and stuff like that. So I'll kind of walk you through what my opinion is as to why they wouldn't do this. Look, this is Fremont. This is Fremont factory, Tesla's. And this was, as you all probably know already, it was originally owned by a partnership between, I believe, Toyota and GM. It was called the Numni plant. It was also labor or union labor. But you see how like the building is like, you got a building here and you got a weird shaped building here and you got a whole building here going down. And you have a lot of like nooks and crannies, right? And a lot of these buildings are not even connected together. You have a building here that feeds into it. You have a building here that feeds into it. It's not really optimized. It's very segmented. Okay, you might have a pretty large structure here, that is sort of like rectangular in a way, but then you have these segments. What the reason why a lot of these segments are built is because if you think about how a gas car is built, they're usually, you have places where there's like pieces coming in from a different section and feeding the primary line. Whereas if you compare this to something like Gigafactory Texas, right? It's just a freaking rectangle, bro, right? It's just one specific building. And the reason why they're building it this way is they're trying to optimize flow of materials from the trailers that come in to the line, okay? And so a lot of these factories, I think, in my opinion, aren't really optimized to build cars the way Tesla's building them. And so it's going to be more expensive to buy an existing factory and then rework the factory to fit the model that you're trying to do to build a car versus just building your own building. And it works for Tesla because I bet you will probably take the same amount of work and the same amount of time to go in and build your factory from scratch than retooling an entire factory to get it to be optimized to exactly where you need it to be to produce your cars. So, and there's so much land in the United States already that I think it'll just make more sense for Tesla to just get in and just build their factories from scratch. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. Richard, I could be completely wrong, but that's how I'm thinking about it. I think the optimization of existing factories are just going to be too costly for Tesla to really make an impact. Let me check on Brian, see how's oh shit, no way. Round Rock, bro. Yeah, my neighborhood was destroyed. Dude, I'm so sorry, Brian. That sucks, man. Dang. Hopefully not a lot of loss of life. That's sad. I'm sorry, Brian. That's a bummer. But hopefully you and the family are safe and everybody's good there. But I'm sorry to hear, man. Round Rock is so close to me. It's like not even half hour from where I live. So that's sad to hear, man. I hope everybody's okay. Dang. How does external sourcing differ from internal sourcing? What kind of big deal is it? In your last video with the limiting factor, you mentioned that Tesla might do even the mining, etc. Yeah, I mean, so the nice thing about internal sourcing is that you control all the costs, right? So internal sourcing, think about it this way. You're essentially buying as many raw materials as possible, and then you are putting in the work to figure out how to put those materials together to make the part that you need. Okay, so like the seat, for example, I believe Tesla makes all their own seats for all their cars. I don't think it's a secret. Sandy Monroe has talked about this. I believe it's the case. I don't know for sure, but I'm like 99% sure that's the case. Within that context, so Tesla will buy the leather, Tesla will buy the springs, Tesla will buy whatever, the metal. They'll buy the raw materials that they need to make the seat, and then they'll put in the work to actually craft those pieces, and then Tesla puts them together. When you do that, you are choosing how you're going to use the labor and what tools you're going to use to build that seat. Whereas if you externally source the seat, say you just get the seat as one piece to you. So, Mike's seat company, as an example, or Julio's seat company, you guys make the seats and then Tesla pays you for the seat. But you as a seat company, what you'll do is you'll not only pay for the materials yourself, you'll also want to make money on the seat, right? You want to make money on the labor that you've put in to put the seat. And that usually, what that means is that the company that's paying you for that product doesn't have the expertise or is not willing to invest in the expertise to make their own seats. But Tesla, what they're really good at is to put stuff together. Like Tesla at the core, they're engineers and problem solvers. So they're just making stuff themselves. And I saw this firsthand a lot of times. So in Tesla's case, they think they can make the seat for cheaper, okay? And that's why internal sourcing is better, because I might pay $1,000 for a Julio chair, a seat, but if I buy the raw materials and I use the labor and expertise that I have to build stuff, I might only have to pay $750 net. So that means I save $250, right? And generally, when a company is good at what they do and they're good at engineering and design and stuff like that, that's why internal sourcing is better, because they'll just save money. And they'll probably do it way faster. And you can control everything, right? So say that you want to take advantage of a cheaper material, you can just make that decision. Whereas the Julio's seat shop, you don't really have any incentive to do that, because you're just want a seat where Tesla's going to buy, and you're trying to maximize your profit. You're not trying to maximize the quality of the product, or you're not trying to maximize, the more time you spend designing, the more money that's going to cost you. I hope that makes sense. But that's why internalizing stuff makes a lot of sense. So yeah, let me know if that helped, Julio. I would love to hear from you, my friend. You said you were born in Spain. What age did you move to the US? I moved in 1999. I was 12 years old. Yeah. I knew 5 words when I moved to the States. I knew like hi, blue, red, but I don't know. But that's why I have an accent. I was 12 years old when I moved to the States, and I had to learn English from scratch. And that was weird. I learned English from watching the Teletubbies. It helped, I guess. But yeah, that's how I learned my English, bro. Teletubbies. Watching from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Welcome, Quint. My wife and I went there for our honeymoon. It was freaking incredible. Beautiful country, beautiful people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How long until Ford and GM ask Tesla for hardware software? Yeah, I think Ford and GM are going to have to put their egos aside first. I see Ford doing that first. And I think the battery tech, the drivetrain tech, and probably the AI tech is going to be by far the things that they would want to purchase long term. And put that within the context of Master Plan Part 3. If Master Plan Part 3 is truly about getting to excessive scale or excessive size or extreme size, whatever word Elon used, could that also imply that there is a baked in supply, or the math is baked in to not only use those things for Tesla, but to also become a primary supplier to a company like Ford, to a company like GM? It could be that, if you get to a point where you are mining for the materials and you are getting all the raw materials yourself, and Tesla being Tesla, they will surely have the most cost-efficient way to package those materials. They're probably going to be the lowest cost, best quality supplier in the world when it comes to batteries and drivetrains. And so, if you're Ford and GM and you're right now buying your, I think they design their own engines, I believe, but say the battery, I'm pretty sure, they buy their battery packs from LG and whoever else, CATL. I don't even know what their supply chain looks like, but say LG is charging you, $150 a unit for those batteries. But then Tesla opens up an entire division of supply to these companies. They're like, I will give you ours for like $90. Oh, and by the way, it's optimized for the supercharging network. Oh, and by the way, we'll give you a 1,000,000-mile guarantee. Oh, and by the way, it's going to be the best performing battery. Oh, and by the way, it's the lightest. Oh, and by the way, it's the safest. Okay? At that point, if you're the CEO of Ford and GM and you have an entire board and investors whose primary reason that they're giving you money as an investor is so that you can make the best financial decisions, if you don't buy from Tesla at that point, you are literally not doing your fiduciary duty of making money for the investors. And they're going to be like, they're going to fire you because they're like, Tesla's making these batteries for so much cheaper and so much better. Like, what are we doing here? That could be a dynamic that plays out in the next 5-10 years. If Tesla really gets to extreme size and they have surplus supply to become a supplier to these companies. Is that within the context of moving the world towards a sustainable future, right? That's the question we got to ask. But it all hinges on supply. It's like if Tesla can't make enough batteries, none of this happens. And so how many batteries is Tesla going to make to be able to make this happen? So that's how I'm thinking about it. So hit that bid. Yashu, yo, everybody, go subscribe to Hit That Bid. He's freaking awesome. I had Yashu on my channel. I believe last week. Teletubby gang for life. What's the Teletubby gang sign? Should we come up with a Teletubby? Let me see. I don't know. Let me see. I'm like doing such stupid stuff, right? I don't know. Whatever. T gang. Yeah, man. No, Yashu's the man. Juju gang, some of the most positive people ever. Love your channel. Keep it up, man. You're the best. Love me some live Tesla content. Me too, man. It's like, I think it's the weirdest thing, like working at Tesla and then still talking about Tesla with y'all is like crazy. Yeah, if there's any Juju gang in the chat, drop some Juju in the chat for Yashu. Yashu's hanging out with us right now, so it's awesome. Evening Farzad. What's up, T Jones? Another longtime follower of the channel. Appreciate you, man. You're the man. Thank you very much. It would be great having AI to do politics if it can't be prevented from doing bad things to anybody. Yeah, I think there's a lot of morality questions there. Like, you know, the question there becomes, even if the AI is going to make the best solution possible for the humans involved, like it's still not a human making the decision. So is there a morality thing there where even if it's always making the right decision, do we really want that to make the best life decision, right? Yeah. Yashu in the house after the awesome Power Hour stream with Lee. Yeah, I watched the first like the first 20 minutes of it, Yashu, and it was awesome. I had to jump out because I had to like prepare for the stream here. But yeah, man, I was on his stream yesterday as well. He does a great job. He really does. We got some Jujus in the chat from the Juju gang. Yeah. Thanks, Will. Appreciate you, man. Oh, love your channel and Yashu too. I'm assuming it's for the both of us. I'll take it anyway. Thanks, Will. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, Master Plan Part 3, so crazy. So many crazy implications. I really think like going down the pathway of extreme size being a direct connotation to maximizing supply could eventually set up Tesla to be a supplier. I just, you know, and you think about like, okay, if Tesla has like, say, 30 or 40% of the total supply from a raw material perspective and battery perspective to really hit their goals, you know, like where are Ford and GM and Mercedes and BMW and Lucid and Rivian and everybody else going to get their batteries from? Of course, there's going to be more players, but again, if Tesla's making the best cost-effective battery, I don't know. Internalizing also helps you not get stuck during supply chain problems like now. Exactly. That's a great point, Richard. Yeah, so this is within the context of like why is internalizing and externalizing supply important? If you internalize, your limiting factor, shout out Jordan, your limiting factor doesn't become the whole part, it becomes a subset of the part, right? So in that seat example, again, if we think back to the Tesla seat, Julio's seat shop, that seat, if the supplier will not be able to sell the seat unless they have every single part available for that seat to make the seat. And if they run into a bottleneck from a supply chain perspective, we're like, oh, we don't have enough leather, as an example, or we don't have a certain chip or whatever. They don't have any incentive to go out and find an alternative, really, because they know that once they get the part in, they're just going to sell it to you and they'll just cut production and just wait for the parts to come in. Or they just won't have the expertise, or the people will be like, it's just too much work, right? Whereas if you're Tesla and say you have all the materials you need, but you're missing one, Tesla is going to be way more incentivized to find that replacement to put the seat through. Or they'll sell you the seat without a specific thing and they'll be like, yo, come back in 2 months, we'll get it done for you, right? That's a lot easier to do if you control the entire supply chain of that part versus just buying the seat whole. So that's another example as to why. Teletubbies gang, bro. Who else learned English watching Teletubbies? Let me know in the chat. Thank you. Great answer on internal sourcing. You got it, Julio. That's why I'm here. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. I see a class action lawsuit against GM Barra for not keeping to fiduciary responsibility. Yeah, within the context of like if they're not making the best decisions around, you know, maximizing investor value and really doing the right decisions for the company within the context of Tesla having the best cost solution. And this is why it's so important. If Tesla has the most cost-effective battery and the most cost-effective drivetrain, or the most cost-effective thing in the market, that's also the best product. It could also be the cheapest. And these large companies don't buy from Tesla, those people will get fired. Like they're going to have to be forced to buy from Tesla, or they have to figure out a way to get a different supplier that's going to get them to lower cost. Okay. I think that's going to be a dynamic that is going to play out, especially if Tesla becomes the dominant supplier. No one else is going to. And if you really think about it, I mean, what a great way of really forcing the entire car market to shift over to electric vehicles. Like Elon must know this, right? Like he knows these executives and investors these executives are beholden to the investors and to the board members that are being told, like, you have to make the best decision for the company. And if Tesla definitely has the best, lowest cost product, they have to buy from Tesla. They have to buy from Tesla, especially if Tesla has plenty of supply. That would be a brilliant way, I think, of shifting the entire market over to electric vehicles faster, because Tesla, in my opinion, will have the best capabilities to ramp it up as fast as humanly possible. But that's a big if, right? It's a big if this decides to go there. But that would be an excellent way of shifting the entire thing over. They're going to be forced to. Tesla sells the production technology to Ford GM and gets a license fee on top. Yeah, it could very well happen. Juju gang for the win. Yep. We got more Jujus. Look at Yashu. Yashu, you got so many fans here, bro. I love it. Team GJ, thank you very much for the super chat, bro. $2.99 Australian, I believe. Thank you very much. You're the man. Really appreciate you. I think you guys make a great team. Yeah, I think Yashu and I do make a great team. Yashu's welcome anytime, man. He's a beast. Could you imagine if someone like Putin had access to advanced AI? I can, but I don't want to. I do want to. Scary stuff. 50 billion revenue in 2021, 80% growth rate per year is 17 trillion in revenues by 2031. Do you think that is plausible? Man, I don't know. 80% year over year growth for 10 years that's I mean, it's not impossible. You know, if I pull up let me share this link with y'all. I have a model. 1 second. Let's see. Can view. Okay. I have a model, which I've shared previously, of Tesla stock price. Ron, thank you, man. Like and subscribe. Yeah, if you've joined the chat and you haven't liked yet, I would love it if you throw me a like. That helps sort of pass this on to more people. So if you're on, thank you very much for liking the stream. Really appreciate you. The link I just shared is a link to my Tesla stock price model. And I have just a bunch of random numbers in here. And let me share my screen, actually. Let me see. How do I do this? Like, I feel like sometimes I'm such a noob with this stream thing. I have revenue in 2031 at, that's for car only, 2021, 2.3-ish trillion dollars in revenue by 2031. Yeah, so that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. So 17 trillion seems, I don't know. I just don't know how that's possible, right? So even 2035, I have it at 5.3 trillion. You know, that's a 3x from a 2035, which would give Tesla, if we, look at a PE ratio of 20 by 2035 with all my assumptions, making 47% net income margin, with like FSD and cars and all that stuff, the bot, so on and so forth. PE of 20 is roughly $41,000 stock price, $42,000 stock price. So that's how I'm thinking about it. So I don't know if, I don't know. I think 17 trillion is too high, but who knows? I mean, I could be wrong. This is all just guesses, right? So you could be 100% right on that. So, but good question. Digital asks or says, by the way, Farza, since you live in Austin, Brian from My Tesla Weekend organized a pre-event on the 7th. Feel free to attend, pizza, etc. Hit him up if interested. Thank you very much. Yeah, I believe there is there might also be a brunch. Oh, in case you guys don't know, let me just let me plug this in case none of y'all know this, or some of you may not know this. There is obviously the week of the 7th, April 7th is Tesla Gigafactory Texas party thing, whatever that Elon's talked about. Nobody has gotten invitations for. But there's also TeslaCon for essentially that entire week from the 5th through the 8th. And then the 9th, people are taking a drive down to Starbase as well. So if you are in the area in Austin on the Friday, which is the main event, TeslaCon's having an event. It's $20 per person if you want to join. If you want to attend, it's a 6-hour event. And one of your speakers is, who's this guy? Who's this weird looking guy right here? Me. So yeah, man, they asked me to speak at the event. Very, very honored and pretty insane that, I'm being asked to speak at the event. Mr. Sandy Monroe is also going to be there. He's going to be talking about a brake pad and whatever this is. Obviously, I'm joking. He's probably talking about it a lot more. And they've also got K10, Kim, Starman's going to be there, Alien Space, which does some great SpaceX content. And I believe there's others joining as well. So if you're interested, TeslaConTexas.com. Yeah, TeslaConTexas.com if you're interested. But yeah, on that 7th, on the day of the event, I believe I have to check my schedule. I know my wife and I are going to be doing some stuff that week as well, but thank you for the invitation. I'll definitely try to make it. Very much appreciate it. Let's see. Dope model, thanks for sharing. You got it, Yashu. You're the man. Really want to come just to hear your speech. Hopefully it's streamed. Yeah, that's one thing we have to figure out, right? I don't know if anyone is on that's part of the sort of TeslaCon event, but I've been getting a lot of questions about that event being streamed or being shown. I think it would be awesome if it's streamed. I think it's going to really allow people to see what's going on, or at the very least, like pre-record or record the speeches and then put them on YouTube. So I'll ask if anyone's on the chat from that knows anything about that. Definitely drop it in the comments. But I think that'd be cool. The Tesla community and the Tesla family is so far-reaching and so awesome that I think it'd be really cool if you guys can see what's going on, right? Let's see. Tesla can't control too many supplies as that might cause antitrust issues. Yeah, so the way to think about it, I think the bigger question is how will the monopoly laws and antitrust laws apply to Tesla? Because if Tesla's market is large enough, so put it this way, right? The entire transportation market in the United States, as an example, is 26%. The other 75% is anything energy, right? So within the context of, Tesla controlling supply for, say, vehicles, and say they get to 30% for vehicles, 30% of 26 is what? 7.5. Yeah, 7.5, right? 10% is 2.6, 7.5. So they would control that much of the entire transportation market. But within the context, 30% of the auto market, but within the context of the entire pie, it's only 7%. So I think it's directly correlated to how Tesla is entering markets. And if they have a big enough pie where they say, well, we're not just an automaker, we're an energy provider, or we are a supplier to anything that generates energy, right? Then I don't think those antitrust laws are really going to apply as much, because they could really make the argument that says, well, I'm sourcing these materials not just for 7% of the market, for 30% of the car market. I'm sourcing materials for the entire pie. So, it depends. And that's kind of a little bit of, excuse my French, a little bit of fuckery, a little bit from that perspective. But you can very much make those arguments. And companies in the past have made those arguments before. So I think it's all within the context of how they're trying to, what they're trying to achieve, right? So, and if anybody has more insight on that, if any lawyers or financial experts or whatever, if I'm speaking out of my ass, please let me know, because I would love to hear your opinion as well. Oh man, Chinwar asked, did you feel frustrated by being constantly interrupted by Tom Nash during his interview? I loved it, by the way, but I could tell you had much more to ask. Good question. No. So I had an interview with Tom Nash on my channel. I believe it was last week, Saturday. Awesome conversation. I really respect Tom. He's actually coming back some other point to talk. What I really like about Tom is that Tom gets on these like stream of consciousness sort of modes, and then he goes to a place and he really explains it really, really well. And that was the first time I ever talked with him. So that what I was thinking about is like, I don't want to interrupt his sort of train of thought. So, and I didn't feel like he was interrupting me at all. The way I felt is that he had something he wanted to say, and then I just let him say it. Because, you know, if I'm interviewing him, that's my job. My job is to let him talk. And yeah, there was way more that I wanted to talk about. But yeah. Oh, Tom, hell yeah. Thanks for joining, Tom. You're the man. But yeah, I think that's why I sort of, you know, I give a lot of credit to just allowing people to just go through their train of thought. So, yeah, I really respect Tom. I was turned to Tom by my brother right around the Dan Balzerian video, which Tom talked about on the thing. But yeah, it's just somebody I really respect. And he said it, he'll be back. So one day we'll have Tom back on the channel when his, you know, him and I will work it out. But yeah, I really, yeah, man, Tom, I really respect you for coming on and giving me the time. The thing, I will behave in part 2. See, that's boring, man. One of the things about you, Tom, that it's great is like you're off the cuff. You know, you just make stuff happen. So just be yourself, bro. Just be yourself. But yeah, I think it's really fun. And I really enjoy the interviews too, because, you know, ever since I sort of have had more time, my thing has been like trying to figure out like, how can I talk to really smart people? You know, how do I talk to people that I really respect? Because one of the things that sort of was happening at Tesla, which I kind of missed, to be completely honest, was like you're constantly surrounded by the smartest people you'll ever meet. And leaving Tesla, that was like a gap that I found like, man, like, you know, I'm kind of craving that again. You know, my poor wife, I can only, you know, I talk to her like so much, and I don't want to be like constantly like, and she'd be like, she's great. She's the best. But, you know, it's like, I feel like being able to like leverage this incredible community on YouTube with, you know, Tom and your Dave Lees and your Emmett Peppers and your Stephen Mark Ryans, and, you know, sadly no more Chicken Genius Singapore. I don't know if you guys saw his video today, but looks like he's leaving YouTube. But, you know, shout out to Ken from Chicken Genius. He's awesome. I really respect him as well. He's a very deep person. But you have such an incredible YouTube community, and just having that sort of fortune of being able to talk to these people is, I don't know, it's a blessing, man. And I every day I count my blessings, because I just feel very fortunate to be where I'm at, and to have all you guys in the comments section being so nice and, you know, giving all these shout outs. And, you know, I'm seeing about these comments about, you know, how they really enjoy the interviews. That means, I can't tell you how much that means to me, because I've always been passionate about talking to people, and I've always been passionate about learning from others. And so the fact that I get a chance to do this with the YouTube community is like insane. So thank you guys very much. And Tom, you rock, man. My favorite Russian. Tom's my favorite Russian. He's the best. Spreadsheet tip: on your Tesla model, click view freeze on cell C4, and you'll preserve the header row and column B category, so you can scroll freely and see row names. Shout out with the sheet skills there, the Excel skills. We got an Excel user in the house. Yeah, do that. It will help sort of retain the top row there. So, yeah, it's sort of it was kind of a bummer. Yeah, I'll talk more about this a little bit later. I do want to get to some other things, but I am sad that that Ken is lost. But I completely get it, man. I completely get it. Don't smash nothing, mother lover. Don't click nothing. Here are all the Tom Nash words. I think Tesla will never reach its market cap capability. Our government could be deemed anti-competitive. Just kidding, sort of. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I get what you're saying. First time being part of this live event. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. I love these live events. I'm supposed to be doing these every week, and last week I didn't do one because honestly I was kind of tired, and we had just come back from a trip. And yeah, but I'm going to try to do these every single week. And actually, I say that next week I won't be able to do it because I'm away as well. But yeah, we'll try to do these as often as possible. At least a couple times a month is sort of my plan. So, yeah, so I was doing this thing right here, right? Yeah. If your interesting Tesla model is true and a share in 2035 is like 40,000, what will you do with the millions and millions of dollars you now have at your hand? There will be so many Tesla millionaires. I mean, I think that is sort of great story of being a Tesla investor is that it's given a lot of people, the ability to be financially independent, myself included, right? I may not be like this insane, I'm not going to come out and say I have like freaking millions and millions and millions of dollars. I definitely have, my wife and I are very fortunate to have what we have, and we don't have to work anymore. So that's great. But I think that is the greatest story that's going to be told in the next decade or so, is that now you're going to have all these really talented people with a ton of capital in their hands that are going to go out and be able to create incredible things. And it's purely because they sort of took a risk to invest in Tesla, if that target price were to come true. So, and it has already happened. I mean, you think about where Tesla was 10 years ago and where they are now. It's crazy. So many people's lives already changed. But I think that's going to be one of the greatest stories, is how you're going to have all these very smart people that are going to be able to make a lot of really great things with the winnings that they've had. So, Tom's such a popular guy. I love it. Yeah, the Tesla community is so unique, and I've thought about this before too. It's like, what other communities are there that are as like close knit as this one? I was thinking about this a couple nights ago, actually. It's like, how many communities are there that are like, is there a website that says number of people in the Tesla community, like number of subscribers for the Tesla world versus like the finance world? And I'm guessing there's going to be other ones that are going to be ginormous, like the entertainment world, like Mr. Beast himself already has like 100 million subscribers. But I feel like the Tesla group is like legit on YouTube, man. It's legit. How different would your life be now if you'd never worked for Tesla? Wow, what a good question. What a good question. I think it would have been completely different. I don't think I would have had the chance to really pursue my true passions if I didn't work for Tesla. And I wouldn't have learned how to survive. We did have a business as well that really taught me a lot of lessons. But I think it really taught me the value of having something really important in your life that makes you work harder than you ever would, because you just feel so important. And that's what Tesla taught me. It's like, it put within context, like why I tick, like why I do the things that I do, why I work towards the things that I work. And having that greater mission, that thing that says, yo, like this company is very important for the future of mankind. If I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter, but I believe that inspires you to really work as hard as you humanly can. And then when you're surrounded by people that think the same way, is ridiculous. It's like honestly one of the most unique feelings ever. It literally feels like you're going to war and you're winning battles. You're winning battles every single day. So yeah, man, it's totally changed my life. And so not having worked for Tesla, I wouldn't have gotten that experience, which I think has a lot of far-reaching implications. I think even the way I think has been impacted by working at Tesla, sort of trying to approach everything from a, first principles perspective. It's taught me to do that for everything, not just for like solving a Tesla problem, but like even this entire YouTube channel, the way I've approached this channel, and a lot of you guys on the chat have followed me through that journey, and I really appreciate you for that. But like, I try to apply first principles, like just, my first few videos was just start, like just get a camera and go, and then as you go, kind of figure out what are the best things. And now we've sort of transformed it with like a light here that makes my face look the way it's supposed to look. You got a side light, you got the studio with my wife's help, obviously. But yeah, man, like everything in my life has been impacted by working at Tesla. So great freaking question. I'm very thankful to have worked for Tesla. I think it totally changed it for the better. Not that I had a bad life at all before Tesla. I had an incredible life before, to be completely honest. And I had met my wife already. We were married. Were we married? 2017? Uh-oh. Yeah, we were totally married. Were we? Yeah, we were. So yeah, it's been great, man. Thank you for that question. Amazing question. Live streams are very intimate, and I think build a tighter rapport with your homies. I agree. That's why I like doing them. I do them purely because I like interacting with you folks. You guys are awesome. And it's a beautiful thing. It's truly a beautiful thing. Would it be bad to sell body parts to buy more Tesla shares? Yes. Just work, man. Just try to save up a couple bucks. Definitely don't sell a kidney for Tesla shares. I think the more of these communities spread the positive vibes, Tesla vibes, the better the world and the better the stock price. I agree. I think positivity is very important. How do you think Elon will tackle the problem with solar in colder places? I mean, you can use other forms of, renewable energy like geothermal, and some areas may just be strictly nuclear, right? Or they may need to burn coal or oil. Solar is not 100% solution, but even if it's a 50% solution, that makes a ginormous difference. So there are ways to make it happen. You have become one of my favorite YouTubers, Martha. Thank you very much. That's really nice of you to say. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Very, very, very sweet. Do you understand how anyone could dislike Elon Musk? What a great question, right? So that's one that I've been thinking about a lot. And I think the people that dislike, I think it's okay. Let me put it this way. Anyone has the right to feel however they want. I don't really give a crap how people feel towards any other people. Am I sometimes confused at the outright hate that Elon gets? Yes, it's very confusing. And what it tells me, the people that are outright hating on Elon, I just don't believe they've done the work and the research to truly understand what he's doing and how he's doing it and why he's doing it, right? So when I hear, I've run into people before where I talk about Tesla and Elon, they're like, oh yeah, Elon's such an idiot. He's such a prick. He's a scamster. And my head immediately goes to, okay, you haven't done the work. You read a headline. You get your opinions from someone else. You don't form your own opinions. You're taking someone else's opinion. You're just formulating it. Okay, cool. I'm going to stop talking about Elon and Tesla with you because it's not worth it, right? So, I can see how people may dislike him because of how non-politically correct he can be and how, sort of like he has a lot of idiosyncrasies that are not usually, they don't pertain to like an executive of a company especially. So I can see that. But for me, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I do get confused sometimes about that, but I try not to think about it too much because it's like, okay, so people have a right to feel however they want with people. So, and Elon's a grown-ass man. I'm sure he doesn't give a shit. Will Tesla create its own ecosystem like Apple and Google? If yes, then in my opinion, Tesla should launch mobile sets so there will be enough number of devices for developer to create apps. Yeah, I think eventually when sort of the Teslas become fully autonomous, it makes sense to turn that screen into a place for developers to make their own apps, right? Like the app store of Tesla. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Hello, Yilmaz. Welcome. I feel discovering Tesla early is like the movie Inception. Plant the seed mentally and wait for a few years that will come to you years later. That's a great one. Dude, Inception is such a good movie. If no one's seen Inception, please check it out. Such a good movie. Leo DiCaprio. What's the other dude? He's got like 13 names. I forget the guy's name. The guy who plays like his sidekick. And then you have Ellen Page or Elliot Page now. I believe he's a dude now. Yeah, interesting stuff. Great movie. On Master Plan Part 3, do you think Tesla will actually pursue AGI? It is so complex. Just solving vision would be incredible with FSD, but AGI means across the board, like millions of FSD-like problems. Yeah. I mean, Elon has very openly talked about how sort of doing FSD is like a precursor to solve general intelligence in a way, or like real world AI. But I don't know if that really applies to AGI because artificial general intelligence theoretically is a thing that can solve anything in a way. So, I had an interview with Gally a few weeks ago where we sort of try to talk about this a little bit, but I don't know. It almost seems like there's 3 companies that are working on that. Tesla's doing the vision. Then you have Google that's doing like what are people searching for? And then you have Facebook, which is doing a lot of AI around what are people like? And I feel like those 3 together can actually create a platform for a robot or something that interfaces with the real world exactly like how a human would. So that could be AGI like, right? So I don't know. There's a lot of different pieces, but that's a great question. But I don't know. I don't know if it's really going to be AGI. I think it's probably going to be more like visual, like they're going to be solving for vision. So, what insurance company Has accident avoidance tech on every car, video footage of any crash to determine fault, and extensive driving data for each customer. It rhymes with Elsa. Is it Tesla? I'm not sure. Great point. Ciao Farza from Italy. Tesla price prediction by end of year. What's up, Francesco? I can't wait to visit Italy one of these days. End of year stock price prediction. Let me look at my model. It depends. It depends how the market's gonna sort of price it. I have it between 1,300 and 1,800, but this is not financial advice. This is just my model. But I have a link to the model earlier in the chat if you want to check it out. But that's how I'm thinking about it. What's your favorite band? My guess is Slayer. Oh, by the way, for those staying on, probably in a few minutes here, I'm gonna play you guys some music on the guitar. We usually do a guess the riff game, but I haven't had a chance to learn any new riffs. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you guys a couple songs, and they're both going to be Metallica songs. So if you like Metallica, stick around for it. We used to have a Metallica cover band back in the day. So I'm going to play you guys a couple songs with a backing track as well. And if we get demonetized, so be it. It is what it is. But yeah, definitely, if you're interested, hang on for the end. I tuned in late. What Tesla news are you most pumped about this week? Master Plan Part C. Berlin delivery, stock outperformance, Elon warning for massive scaling announcement. Other, for me, it's extreme size, which is directly tied to Master Plan 3 by far. I think Berlin is cool, but we knew that was going to happen for a very long time. The price going back up is exciting and fun, but we've been here before. So for me, the extreme size is by far the most exciting for me. And I think my mouse just died? No, it didn't. It's back. I think I have to get a mouse pad. This thing sometimes gets lost on my screen. Do you know the riff for Metallica Battery? I do. I'll play it for you when I put my guitar on. I got you, digital. Maybe we'll play that too. Maybe we'll do 3 songs and we'll finish it out with Battery. Battery is a song with Metallica, and literally the name of the song is Battery. But really talking about a different thing. They're not talking about like 4680s. But we'll play it just because we're talking about 4680s. McKay says, my 9-month-old Charlie and I love to watch your content. Man, that's crazy to hear. Thank you, McKay. That's so sweet. Super fans for life. Been jamming Master Puppets ever since you played it. Thank you. That means that's crazy. Thank you, man. That's so awesome. That's so awesome to read. That's like mind-blowing to me. That means a lot, man. Thank you very much. Will Elon start an environmentally friendly mining company? Yeah, Anthony, we were talking about this earlier, like Master Plan Part 3, if you're thinking about like massive scale, I feel like mining is going to be, my opinion is that, and I made a video about this on Monday, mining is going to be gigantically, that's not a word, very big portion of trying to get to that massive scale, because unless you have the battery and the raw materials to make the batteries, you can't do anything, right? So in my opinion, that's what it's all about. I just answered it, bro. I got you, Anthony. Anthony, another follower of the channel. I see you in the comments quite a bit. Thank you for following, my friend. Play like Tom Morello. Tom Morello's a beast. He's so good. We should guess Tesla close today. Isn't the stock market closed already? Okay. We're going to play some guitar here soon, in a few minutes. If you have any other questions, definitely drop them in the comment. So I would love to answer them for you as we sort of approach we're over an hour now, but we'll go a little bit longer and then play some guitar. We'll do 3 songs. They're going to be all Metallica. And I will mess them up. So you can't judge me for the perfection. I just like playing guitar, okay? And I'm going to bring you guys into my creative process. Guitar really helps me relax, and it's fun. And doing it in front of an audience sort of helps me. I don't know. I have this whole thing ever since for years, my motto is like, feel comfortable feeling uncomfortable. And so I'm always pushing myself to get myself in uncomfortable situations so I can learn how to handle them better. And I hadn't played guitar in a long time in front of people. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to start playing guitar in front of people. And I have a live stream, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Might as well play guitar. So I will be nervous, but I think I'm going to have fun anyway. I've done it before. It's not my first time, but yeah. Thanks, Farzad. I feel like I'm hanging out with the gang, Yashu, Tom, etc. Yeah, man. That's the coolest thing about these streams is that the community is very like tight. You know, there's quite a bit of overlap, and that's what's beautiful about this community. It's just great. It's great stuff. Do you think there will be a market value limit that political figures will use against Tesla's expansion in the economy? Yeah, we've talked about that before. So sort of like a monopoly rule or antitrust rule. I don't know. It depends how Tesla's going to define itself. You know, if they define themselves in a way so that they have a very large market, you know, broad market versus a small market, then that's going to be, that will lessen the chance of that happening, but you never know. Pete, thank you for the super chat, my friend. $5 super chat. You're the man. You rock. QQ. Typically what, quick question. What typically what proportion of Tesla pay is via stock? It really depends from person to person. It's probably as low as, depends. Yeah, it depends really. When I joined Tesla, a pretty significant proportion of my pay was Tesla stock, and I negotiated it that way because I joined Tesla in 2017. I was an investor before that in 2012, and I worked really hard to negotiate as much stock as humanly possible. So mine was significant. But typically, if I were to guess, I don't know, man. It's anywhere between like 5 and 15%, depending on what kind of job you have, right? So, but you can totally negotiate a bigger portion if you want to, right? Some people really value having the sort of the cash flow that comes from having a salary, but others that have, you know, savings and are able to survive on that salary, typically it behooves them to invest it in the company stock. So, you know, but that's a very good question. Digital Blade Ka. I don't know why I wrote it like that, but Digital, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. $5 Canadian. Really appreciate you, man. Here's my admission ticket. It's free, but if you want to throw a couple bucks, of course, I would more than appreciate it. But thank you very much. This is just for everyone's enjoyment. So look at this. Another one coming in. Larry Apple, $1. Thank you so much. A pound, €1 actually. Thank you, Larry. Thank you very much. Hi, Farza. Would you consider doing a space on Twitter? That would be awesome. Yeah, I think I've been thinking about that. Yeah, we'll do one. We'll figure out when to do it. We'll make it happen. Does your NDA expire at some point in time? I believe it's 2 years. I have to go back and look at the document, but I believe it's 2 years. It could be as long as 3. So that would mean in the summer of 2023, I will be able to talk about stuff that I wouldn't be able to talk about right now. But honestly, what's crazy about Tesla is like they change so fast that I don't even know how relevant the stuff that I can't talk about is going to be in 2 years' time. Although a lot of the things that I talk about are going to apply forever, but I strategically talk about things that I can talk about, and there are things that totally can't talk about, and those things are, come on. Chicken Genius Singapore is leaving us. Can we convince him to stay? Honestly, like I think I really respect Ken because he is very, I don't know, man. He's a very deep person and he's clearly trying to do the right thing all the time. And if he's not happy doing YouTube, I do not want to have him stay. The one comment I left, Tom Nash made a sort of video where he's sad that he's leaving, and he sort of asked for comments so he can send them to Ken. I said, what I told him was, as long as you do something that makes you happy, the world is going to benefit because you're a force for good. And I firmly believe that those kind of people, we just got to let them do what they want, right? Ken is somebody that's obviously he's been around for a while, even though he looks like he's like 20, but he's definitely in his 40s, and he's talked about this before. He's seen stuff. He knows how the world works, in a way. So yeah, we just have to, in my opinion, he should do exactly what makes him happy. And I very much encourage him to do that, but I totally get it if we want him to stay. But that's how I think about it. So yeah. If I like your guitar performance, I will subscribe you. Okay. A lot of pressure. Thank you for sticking around, though. I really appreciate you. All right, a couple more, and then we'll play some guitar. What do you think? Is there any company outside Tesla that you would stack some chips on as a great long-term investment, and why? So I have invested in other companies, and I made a video about this not too long ago where I sort of break down my investment portfolio. Significant percentage of my portfolio, 40%-ish, probably more now. No, 40% about, is Tesla. And then the other big bucket is real estate. And then the rest of it is Coinbase, Hertz, Shift4, a little bit of Palantir, and only because I want to force myself to research it, and that's why I bought it. Lemonade, and I think that's it. And if there's another one, it's tiny. Coinbase, Shift4, Hertz, Lemonade. There's another one in there. I forget what it is. But yeah, but a majority of my investments is Tesla and real estate. Thoughts on Redwood Materials? Great question, Cindy. You guys want to hear a hot take? You guys want to hear a hot take? I was thinking about this yesterday, and I think it's part of Master Plan Part 3. I think Tesla either buys Redwood Materials or Elon invests in it and gets on the board. You heard it here first, maybe. Probably not. I'm sure other people have talked about this. But I can see that happening. I think JB and Elon are still pretty tight. And JB Straubel is the founder and owner of Redwood. He was the battery expert and the drivetrain expert essentially at Tesla for a while. So that's how I think about that. So yeah, I think it's going to be a key part of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla becomes a ginormous investor into that. Crypto, yes, thank you. Bitcoin, Doge, and Cardano are my other investments. Thank you. I'm like, what the hell? What am I freaking forgetting? They're small though. They're small, but not nearly as big as the other ones. Ken is great. He will clean up beaches and take care of animals in need. Golden heart. He's such a good person, man. He really is. I have so much respect for Ken. He is a beast. Do you think having a lot of new employees will encourage Tesla to split? Yeah, I think it will, and I think as the stock price keeps going up, the percentage of a split happening will definitely happen, and I've talked about that on one of my videos. I think one of my videos that has been most watched is me saying that Tesla stock will split multiple times this decade, and it's primarily because of the ESPP, the Employee Stock Purchase Program. They can't as of present moment when I left, and I believe and understand it as of now, is that you can't get fractional shares from the program. So you have to be able to buy them in whole. And the more expensive they are, the harder it is for those entry-level employees that don't make as much as, say, the engineers or everybody else. They can't really take advantage of it, that 15% off. So yeah, I think it's pretty important for them to do that at some point. If all of y'all that follow Ken, a Chicken Genius, yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that's going to make him very happy is hearing from everybody who has been, following him and sort of made an impact on them. So if you haven't already, I think it'd be cool if sort of drop him a line, but obviously do whatever you want. I dropped him a couple lines, but yeah, I really appreciate him. All right, a couple more and then guitar time. I am 80% real estate, about 15% Tesla, but I have a feeling I should sell some real estate and buy more Tesla. What do you think? Only you can answer that question, Larry. I think that's completely up to you. I think I try not to give advice on everyone's personal situation is different. So I think only you can make that decision, my friend. But I mean, they're both pretty good investments, to be honest. Tesla might have a much longer runway, especially if you think 10, 15 years from now, but it's all about but real estate gives you ridiculous security. So risk reward. I thought of JB when you were talking about your entrepreneur title on Twitter yesterday. Yes, that's a perfect example. There's going to be so many of those, but JB is probably the first one of many that are going to become ridiculous entrepreneurs because they've worked at Tesla and they've learned how to make stuff happen. Why do YouTubers get upset by a few trolls? Ken should just speak his mind and screw the haters. Yeah, that's a good question, John. I think, to be completely honest, I thought that way as well when I didn't have a YouTube channel. And then once I started my YouTube channel, the one thing I realized is that it's super hard not to care. It's super hard not to care. And I know people can do it and will do it. But if you're somebody who's really invested in doing the right thing, and you have people that, aren't really like sort of understanding why you're doing the things you're doing, I can see how I can I can see how I can get to you. And I've had, you know, comments that are not nearly as sort of the stuff that he was getting from like pressure from other YouTubers and stuff about his approach or whatever. Then I'm like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is that? You know, and I'm like, yeah, why am I even putting in the effort to do this if that's the kind of thing I'm getting? But then once you realize it's like a fraction of a percent of the total sort of energy that you're bringing towards yourself, it helps to say, it's like, okay, so they're having a bad day, whatever. I'm just going to put it on them. But I can see it, man. It's hard. It's very hard to separate yourself from that. It's a very human condition. You know, imagine doing, you know, if you put yourself in his shoes, you know, imagine putting yourself in a situation where you make something that you really care about, and then you put it in front of people, like be very vulnerable about it. Like, hey, here's what I think about this, or check out this art piece that I made or whatever. And then there are people that are literally spending time and getting an audience essentially shitting on your work. Ugh, that sucks. You know, so yeah, it's hard to separate yourself, man. The more you love to do something, the harder it is to ignore. And yeah, I get it. If there was a way to separate yourself, you should do it, but I totally get it. Pete, what the hell, bro? $50 super chat? Are you crazy? You want to refund it? Thank you so much, man. I want to hear you rock out. Yeah, dude, you're gonna get it. You know what? We're gonna start rocking out now. Pete, you're the man. Thank you so much. You did not have to do that, but I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. All right, guitar time. Da 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 da. All right. So I'm going to change my headphones out because I need to go to the other headphones. We're going to play guitar. So anybody who's sticking around, we're going to play 3 songs. It's probably going to take about... They're all going to be Metallica songs because those are the ones that I know best. They're not going to be perfect, but they should be fun. The 3 songs are going to be probably 1, Harvester of Sorrow, and Battery, only because somebody requested it. So Battery is probably going to be awful because I haven't played it in a while, but we'll play it anyway for fun. And then 1 and Harvester are going to be more fun because I know them a little bit better. So yeah, Pete, you're awesome. Seriously, what a boss. Everybody give a shout out to Pete. Love in the chat for Pete for being such a boss. Okay, let me get my guitar on. All right. Alrighty. Can you guys hear that? Yeah? Let me know if you can hear the guitar. Headphones on. What song is that? That comes pretty clean on my side. Do we need it louder? We can make it louder. What do you guys think, louder or softer? Louder. All right, we're getting requests for louder. Okay. Is that better? I don't want it to peak. All right, perfect. Okay, I don't want to go too much louder because I don't want to blow out everyone's headphones. All right, we're gonna start with the first. Okay, first, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a little test. So y'all gonna have to help me with this. I'm gonna play a song, and I need you guys to tell me if it's synced. Okay. So Yeah, who has heard of metal being played soft? I haven't. Have you? I haven't. Okay, we're gonna play a warm-up song for a little bit. And then y'all tell me. So what I'm looking for, this is where I need you guys as the sound check people, is that it's synced up. I want it to be synced up with what you're seeing and the music, and that the volumes between the sort of guitar and the music are sort of even, right? Like that one is not drowning out the other, that it sounds pretty good. So I did a test before the stream just to double check, but I think y'all giving me a exact sort of thing will help me. So I'm just gonna start with this song. Let's see if it plays. 1 second. Okay. Oh, that's a full album. All right, here we go. That's not right. Is that synced up? How's that sound? Okay, looks like we're synced up. Okay. Oh, we're gonna rock out, y'all. We're gonna rock out with our... Don't say it. Don't say it. Okay. First song on the docket is a song by Metallica called One, which I think... So I don't know if y'all know this song. This was written in 1989, I believe. And it was about like the shitty things about war, you know, like people dying and sort of really sad stuff. But one of my favorite songs, and it has some clean parts and some heavy parts. So let's go ahead and get it started. And I'll be switching between like tones as well. So, all right. You should be hearing some gunfire here. All right, here we go. Let me know if it still sounds good. Background music louder. There it is. That's one. Woo! You know, it's hard to play. It's hard to play these songs without warming up. Damn. All right, so that's the first one. Did you guys like it? What do you guys think? Was it good? Yeah. The solo, I only remember the first bit of it, and I forget how to play the rest of it. And I'm not I'm an okay guitarist, but I'm definitely not a soloist. Okay. Let me stretch my wrist. Oh, this song puts a lot of strain on this hand. So whatever hand you use to hold your pick. You know, these that sort of motion, when you do it for a long time, freaking strains the shit out of your this part. What is this called? Forearm? Yeah. So, all right. Next one. This one's a little bit more, Johnny Got His Gun. That's exactly where the song's from. Yeah. Well, the song was made, like they used the music video was like scenes for the movie, which I believe was a book as well. But anyway. All right, next song. By the way, thank you guys so much for sticking around. We got over 100 people watching this. It's like I'm at a gig. And people are like watching. It's pretty surreal. Pretty crazy. All right, this next one is from the same album called Harvester of Sorrow. I'm going to play this one. It gets a little bit slower, a little bit more chunky, but still pretty heavy. So if you like heavy stuff, you've come to the right place. All right, ready? solo. You gotta have a solo. Forgot how to play it. All right. Harvester, can't even talk. Harvester of Sorrow by Metallica. Thank you. I love playing that song because it's so chunky and it's so heavy. Yashu, you're gonna be my triangle player, bro. We should do okay. If you think Yashu and I should do a joint stream on his channel where he plays the triangle and I play the guitar, say yes, more triangle, or I need more cowbell on the chat. Yeah, sure. I want to hold you to it, bro. If you know how to do triangles, don't mess with the triangle. Triangle's actually a lot harder than you think it is. Believe it or not. But I know Yashu can do it. Yashu's a beast. All right, we're going to do one more, and then we're going to end the stream, yeah? Okay. By the way, thank you all so much for sticking around. If you've just joined, the title of the video has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. And it's simply because I like to play guitar. And it appears that people in the chat also enjoy it. So we're going to keep doing it. We'll do one more. So this last one is Battery by Metallica. And Battery is fast. It's really fast. It's a very fast song. And so we're going to try to play it as cleanly as possible. The one thing about this song, I don't know any of the solos. Not even half the solos. So I'm just going to play specifically the rhythm guitar. But the rhythm guitar already is pretty challenging. So we'll have a good time playing it. And yeah, we'll have a really good time. All right, last song of the stream. last song of the Tesla Master Plan Part 3 stream, because that makes any sense, right? All right, that will have to do. I wonder if I can. Nah, we'll keep it. It's fine. All right, here we go. much confidence left. Ta-da! Oh, God. Oh, God. Should we do one more? Every time that song comes on, Disposable Heroes. I know that song. Right? I think that's disposable, right? Okay. All right, we'll do one more. Damn it. I just can't not do one after Master of Puppets came on. You guys are getting some bonus content. We're probably going to have 0 people by the end of the stream, but I don't give a shit. Whatever. I'm having too much fun. You know what? That's the one thing about playing guitar, and that's one took me a while to get used to. I used to be very afraid of making mistakes, right? And so that would make me like not want to play music as much as I should. And I'm like, whatever, who cares? So what if I make a mistake, right? You guys are still having a good time. I'm having a good time. I mean, who cares, right? It's a good time. It's all about the vibe. It's all about the energy. If I'm having fun doing it, why should I stop doing it, right? So that was a mentality shift for me, and it helped me a lot. So now I did play Master of Puppets in the last stream as well, but maybe what we'll do, we'll just play it again because we're going to play it again. All right, we're going to the last one. This is for real the last one. Maybe we'll make it a tradition. We'll finish every stream with Master of Puppets. Okay, so this is my favorite my favorite song by Metallica by far, in my opinion. The best Metallica song. So we'll play that too, and then we'll actually end the stream for real this time. So here comes Master of Puppets by another Metallica song. So enjoy. Here we go. Clean part. Clean part. had so much fun, y'all. So fun. Hope you had a good time. I saw a couple messages come through here. Digital, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Marco, for the 420 euro super chat. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate your support. All right, everybody. We're going to call it a night, a day. I don't know if I'll see you next week. I think we're away. But the week after that is going to be, I believe, Tesla Con. So we'll see. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen sometime next week. We might do a third to the live stream next week. So thank you very much. Have a good one. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for doing everything. We'll see you next. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Peace out.